Fudo thought he was very tough, but everything changed when he entered an academy where most students were girls, and they kept weapons to deal with boys. At the start, the leader girls of the academy, called the Supreme Five Swords, were having a meeting about a problem. Their leader, Rin Onigawara, told the others that a dangerous boy, Fudo, was about to join the academy. She said most boys who came here were seen as perverts, but Fudo was even worse because he had sent 40 students to the hospital at his last school. At that moment, Kirukuru Amu came in and said she already knew Fudo and had fought him before. The others told her to deal with Fudo again, but Rin Onigawara said she would fix Fudo herself in her class. Kirukuru Amu warned her to be careful of Fudo's spirit bullet. At that time, Fudo arrived at the academy. As soon as he entered, he saw girls carrying weapons. Then a boy named Kusuo Masukodera welcomed him. When Fudo asked why he wore so much makeup, Kusuo said all boys here had to wear makeup because of the rules. But Fudo did not care and was not in the mood to follow these rules. Later, when he entered the class, Rin Onigawara and her team were already waiting. They surrounded him and explained that this was once a girls' academy, but now it was co-ed, so girls were allowed to keep weapons to protect themselves from boys who tried to bother them. 5 girls were allowed to keep swords, so they were called the Supreme Five Swords, and because of this system, troublemaker students from all over the world were sent here to be fixed. They told Fudo to either act like Kusuo or leave the school. Kusuo thought Fudo was scared by Rin's threat, but Fudo refused both options. Instead, he acted even ruder and said all this was only good for the street, which made Rin even angrier. She told him she had time to fix him until the bell rang. After hearing this, Fudo suddenly got under a girl's skirt and then quickly moved away to the window. To distract them, he announced that the panties were purple, and when everyone looked there, Fudo used the chance to run away. Rin Onigawara chased him to punish him before the bell rang, but Fudo kept insulting her while running and made fun of Rin's mask. Meanwhile, from the Supreme Five Swords, Tsukuyo Inaba told her underling to open the class window because she wanted to hear the fight. When Nono Motonono looked outside, she saw Rin Onigawara fighting Fudo, so she quickly ran to help. Fudo kept dodging Rin's attacks, and both of them respected each other's skills. Then Rin increased her attacks and used all her ways to try to catch Fudo. In one hit, she hurt his face. Fudo was impressed by her sword skills. Then he took out gloves from his pocket, put them on, and used them to block Rin's attacks. Rin pushed him back to a tree and kept attacking in the same way, while Fudo kept defending himself. The rest of the Supreme Swords watched this fight with surprise and wanted Rin to finish it before the bell. But in a fast move, Fudo got under Rin and touched her body. Rin still thought she was close to winning, but Fudo told her that if she had a sword, he had a gun. Then he used his left hand to hit Rin's body with full power, which shocked the girls watching. Even after losing, Rin tried to take her sword back, but Fudo stopped her and forced her to admit defeat. Rin told Fudo that she knew he used the spirit bullet, and Fudo pushed her down and asked who told her about it. At that moment, Nono Mosonono arrived and hit Fudo on the head, which made him fall and accidentally kiss Rin, breaking her mask. Fudo quickly moved back, and Fudo and Nono blamed each other for what happened. Then Rin stood up with her sword, which scared both of them. Tears came to Rin's eyes, and while trying to stop them, she threatened Fudo that she would turn his meatballs into ground meat. Later, after taking a bath, Nono Motonono came out and saw Mary Kikakuju from the Supreme Five Swords in front of her. She told Nono Motonono that because Rin Onigawara could not fix Fudo, she wanted to handle it herself now. At that moment, Mary Kikakuju's sister Chokuyu Baragasaki arrived and said that she, who would be the next Supreme Five Sword, would defeat Fudo. Chokuyu Baragasaki and Nono Mozonono started arguing about who would get revenge, and Mary Kikakuju left them and went to take a bath. Meanwhile, Fudo was in the bath with Kusuo Masakodera and asked him how to get a permit for leading the school. Kusuo told him that he had to ask Rin Onigawara for the permit, and it also needed the stamp of all 5 sword members, which seemed hard for Fudo because he had already made all of them angry. Then Fudo started to get a headache, so Kusuo gave him aspirin and also showed him the list of things the school gave. Fudo asked if he could order things from outside the school, and Kusuo said they had a smuggler who could even bring banned things. Fudo asked him to get cake. The next day, Fudo brought cake to class, but the girls kept avoiding him. He asked one girl about Rin Onigawara, but she did not answer, so he asked another student. She said that Rin was lying in her room with a fever after what happened the day before. Rin was having a childhood dream in her fever and woke up blaming Fudo, feeling even more angry. She heard someone at the door and got ready to fight, but Fudo appeared at the window with cake. Rin attacked, but Fudo stopped her. When he got closer, Rin's condition got worse. Fudo gave her cake, and Rin felt happy. Fudo told her she was cute behind the mask and advised her to stop wearing it, which made Rin even more nervous. Then Fudo talked about the permit, and Ryan said it was for good students, not for boys who bothered girls. Fudo understood this would not be easy, so he tricked her into showing him the permit. Then Rin became weak and started to fall. At that moment, Nono Mosonono came in with food for Rin Onigawara and saw Fudo holding Rin's collar, which made her misunderstand the situation. Nono Mosonono activated the lockdown protocol, and Fudo escaped from the dangerous traps in the dorm. As soon as he got out, he met Choka-yu Baragasaki, who was carrying a whip. Choka introduced herself as Mary Kikakuju's sister and the leader of the Junior Five Swords. Then Nono arrived and denied Choka's claim, saying she herself was the real leader of the Junior Five Swords. Both girls attacked Fudo, so he took out his gloves to fight back. The two girls kept arguing about who would beat Fudo first. They told him this was level 2 correction, which meant a troublemaker student had to face 2 girls at once. They also said only one person had survived this, called Empress, and she was a transfer student. After a lot of effort, Fudo blocked Nono's attack, and when Chuka came forward, Fudo used her whip to stop Nono. He told them they were losing because they were not fighting together. Then, using a move like Rin Onigawara's spirit bullet, he threw Nono away and she crashed into Choka. After that, both girls were left weak. When Fudo moved forward, both remembered the incident with Rin and became scared, and the girls watching started blaming Fudo. Later, as Fudo was going back to the dorm, Rin Onigawara came and gave him the permit with her stamp, saying she kept her promises. Fudo left. Then 2 girls came to Rin and told her something, which made her condition worse, and she fainted. Meanwhile, after losing the fight, Choka was being punished by Mary Kikakujo, and Mary talked about taking revenge for her sister. The next day, when Fudo entered the class, Rin was waiting for him at the door, angry. Most of the students, even Kuso Masakodera, stayed away from him. Rin then announced that from now on, she would be Fudo's supervisor. That night, Choka-yu Baragasaki went to Mary Kikakuju and told her about her worries about Fudo. Mary Kikakuju told her not to worry because she had a plan to teach Fudo a lesson. Choka-yu Baragasaki told Mary Kikakuju something else, and when Mary Kikakuju learned that Rin Onigawara had made herself Fudo's supervisor, she became angry. Meanwhile, Fudo was calmly reading a magazine, and Kuso Masakodera warned him that after the incident with Nono Motonono and Choka-yu Baragasaki, he was now on the list of both Rin Onigawara and Mary Kikakuju. Fudo asked about Empress, so Kuso Masakodera told him that Empress had easily beaten both of them. Fudo remembered his past and suspected that the Empress they were talking about could be his old enemy. The next morning, Rin Onigawara woke him up and started her supervision. Fudo wanted to clear up the misunderstanding about Nono Motonono and Choka-yu Baragasaki, but Rin Onigawara said she already knew the truth. At that time, Mary Kikakuju and Choka-yu Baragasaki arrived and talked about the rumors spreading about Fudo. Rin Onigawara defended him and said she would not let such things happen. But Mary Kikakujo did not agree and accused Rin Onigawara of being biased toward Fudo. Fudo did not want to get involved in the girls' argument, so he left. Mary Kikakujo got ready to fight Rin Onigawara and ordered Choka-yu Baragasaki to follow Fudo. Choka-yu Baragasaki ran after him and attacked him with her whip, but Fudo blocked her with his belt. Choka-yu Baragasaki looked down and fainted, and Fudo realized he had seen her in a bad state. At that moment, Fudo saw Kirukuru Amu and remembered his old enemy. He tried to connect her to his past, but Kirukuru Amu said she was different from the person Fudo knew. Fudo was about to catch or attack her when Mary Kikakuju saw Fudo's weapon and was shocked. She also saw Choka-yu Baragasaki lying unconscious and reacted strongly, but when Fudo looked for Kirukuru Amu, she had already disappeared. Later, Kirukuru Amu was alone in the auditorium and remembered her first fight with Fudo, where Fudo had beaten her friends. She had asked Fudo to join her, but Fudo used the spirit bullet on her. Then Fudo saw that Kirukuru Amu's hand had already hurt him, and she kept scratching him. Kirukuru Amu remembered her last fight. She had again asked Fudo to join her, but when Fudo attacked again, she had to use her final move and knocked him down. Now she was confused about why she did not finish him completely. She thought maybe she had stopped her hand on purpose. Then she hit a statue to clear her mind and calmed herself. Meanwhile, Tsukuyo Inaba was in class when he found out that Mary Kikakuju was fighting Fudo. Mary Kikakuju kept attacking, and Fudo's gloves started to get cut. Both Fudou and Mary Kikukuju felt that her sword was sharper than Rin Onigawara's sword, so it became hard for Fudou to block it. Fudou got hurt from Mary Kikukuju's attacks. At the same time, Rin Onigawara went to Chokayu Baragasaki to ask where Fudo was, and Chokayu Baragasaki told her where Fudo and Mary Kikukuju went. In the fight, Fudo took a risky move, and Mary Kikukuju attacked, but she quickly realized something was wrong. Fudo said he had blocked the attack with a magazine. Then he used the magazine to hit Mary Kikukuju on the head and used the spirit bullet up close to throw her away. After losing, Mary Kikukuju had some strange expectations from Fudo, but Fudo refused and asked for her stamp for the permit. Mary Kikukuju hesitated to give the stamp and made it hard for him, but Fudo stopped himself. Then Rin Onigawara's voice came, and she arrived angry from behind. She attacked, but Mary Kikukuju saved Fudo and said she would give the stamp, but on the condition that she would also be Fudo's supervisor. Rin Onigawara objected, and the two started fighting, but Fudo agreed to Mary Kikukuju's condition to get the stamp. Many days later, Fudo sat down for lunch, but in front of him, the girls were arguing about who would supervise him now. To stop their argument, he said something inappropriate, which made things even worse. At that moment, Warabi Hanasaka returned from vacation with her bear, expecting a warm welcome. But she saw that the same two girls were about to attack Fudo in anger because he had made another rude comment about them. Later, Warabi Hanasaka posted a report about Fudo's case on the council board and said that Mary Kikukuju and Rin Onigawara's obsession with supervising Fudo had gone too far, so both should be punished. As soon as she finished, the only member there, Satori Tamaba, supported Warabi Hanasaka and said she was ready to watch the chaos. Then, in gym class, all the students were staring at something. Fudo saw that Kuso Masukadera was tied up and hanging like a cross. Fudo tried to save him, but Rin Onigawara stopped him, and Mary Kikukuju said something big was happening. At that moment, Warabi Hanasaka came to the roof and announced her plan to become the school's main discipline officer. She dropped a banner and blamed Fudo for all of this. Fudo asked why Kusuo Masukadera was treated like this, and Warabi Hanasaka said he was punished for secretly bringing banned dirty magazines to school. Then she announced that Fudo had to win her challenges to save Kusuo Masukodera and also get Warabi Hanasaka's stamp for the permit. She used strong water jets to push the other students away, and then three girls appeared who called themselves Warabi Hanasaka's Three Musketeers. They said they were there with approval from Warabi Hanasaka and another sword member, Satori Tamaba, and would play against Mary Kikukuju and Rin Onigawara. Warabi Hanasaka started the game by making a sumo ring. Fudo got excited, but the girls warned him that he would have to use full strength because Warabi Hanasaka herself would play the final game. They also said Warabi Hanasaka had arranged games like this before, and once she made them play a tag game with fire and gasoline, which almost burned the school. The Three Musketeers threw sumo belts at them and told them to wear them over their gym suits. At that moment, Nono Mozonono and Choka Yubaragasaki came to help their sisters, but the Three Musketeers easily defeated them. Mary Kikukuju and Rin Onigawara told them to stop and ordered Nono Mozonono and Choka Ubaragasaki to step back so they could fight themselves. Meanwhile, Fudo had already put on his belt, and when the girls saw him, they pulled him aside so they could put their belts on properly. Rin Onigawara put her belt on first, and since the belt had to be tied tightly, Fudo pulled it to fix it. Then he tied Mary Kikukuju's belt, but Mary Kikukuju got angry because she thought Fudo spent more time on Rin Onigawara. After that, they went in front of the sumo ring, and in the back, a camera crew was showing the match to the whole school. Fudo stepped forward to fight the Three Musketeers, but he saw that none of them were wearing belts. Warabi Hanasaka told him that his opponent was already there. Then Kaobu came down wearing a belt. Warabi Hanasaka said if they beat her bear, only one of them would have to do sumo in the next round. Fudo stepped up and said to start the fight. Warabi Hanasaka gave the signal, and Fudo attacked directly. The bear hit Fudo hard, but Fudo dodged and used his spirit bullet on the bear's stomach, but it was not enough. Then, while dodging the bear's attacks, Fudo kept hitting it. When the bear got distracted, Fudo lifted it from behind and made rude comments to Warabi Hanasaka. Suddenly, Fudo put the bear down and said he had won because he had untied the bear's belt. After this win, they moved to the next round, and Warabi Hanasaka angrily said she was declaring war on them. Fudo was looking at Kuso Masukodera's condition when he saw that Warabi Hanasaka's camera crew had disappeared and the doors were closed, so the girls understood what was about to happen. Then Warabi Hanasaka announced that the game was over, and Fudo had to meet her on the roof. while her underlings were ready to stop him on the way. The girls told Fudo it was a trap, so they would not let him go alone and said they would go with him. Then the girls started changing clothes, but they took too long, so Fudo went in to help and was thrown out. At that moment, Nono Mozonono and Choka Baragasaki came, talked to Fudo, and made a request before the next fight. Later, when the fight started, Nono Mozonono and Choka Baragasaki handled the underlings in the way. Their sisters tried to stop them, but Fudo told them to trust their sisters and focus on their real job. Meanwhile, Satori Tamaba came through the door they were heading to and got close to Fudo. She did not show any wish to fight, but told Fudo that she really disliked him. At the same time, Warabi Hanasaka was on the roof and saw a strange group saving Kusuo Masukodera. Then Fudo opened the door and came in, and when the girls arrived with him, Warabi Hanasaka blamed them for the rumors about Fudo. The girls took out their weapons, but Warabi Hanasaka brought out her bear again, and this time told it to fight with full power. Near the stairs, Warabi Hanasaka's 3 musketeers stepped up to help, but Mary Kikakuju said she would handle them herself, so Fudo and Rin Onigawara were left in front of Warabi Hanasaka and her bear. Fudo went toward the bear first, and this time the bear used punches instead of sumo moves and hit Fudo hard. At the same time, Rin Onigawara jumped at Warabi Hanasaka, but Warabi Hanasaka dodged and hit Rin Onigawara's shoulder, scolding her for underestimating her. Rin Onigawara pulled out her sword from her shoulder and answered, while Warabi Hanasaka told her to stop complaining and fight better. Tsukuyo Inaba was watching and kept explaining how Warabi Hanasaka hid her sword and threw it at the right time. The fight continued. Warabi Hanasaka took the lead for a while, but Rin Onigawara used her kick move and turned the fight back in her favor. On the other side, the bear cornered Fudo and kept punching like a boxer, while Mary Kikakujo was also pushed back by the 3 girls. Warabi Hanasaka mocked Rin Onigawara that she had become weak after getting obsessed with supervising Fudo, and Rin Onigawara hesitated for a moment. At that moment, Fudo encouraged them and said he had not properly thanked them yet. After hearing Fudo, they pulled themselves together again. The bear attacked, but Fudo dodged and knocked it out with one hand. On the stairs, Mary Kikakujo knocked down the 3 musketeers one by one and they fainted. Back with Rin Onigawara, Warabi Hanasaka tried to attack again, but Rin Onigawara easily defeated her with her sword without stopping, and the whole school watched. Nono Mosunono and Choka Baragasaki arrived to help, but when they saw it was over, they congratulated their sisters. Fudo thanked the girls and praised their effort, then told them to help tie up Warabi Hanasaka, but the girls got angry because they thought he was going to do something wrong with Warabi Hanasaka. A few days later, after complimenting Fudo's face, Rin Onigawara got a new mask, and when she asked Nono Mozonono for her opinion, Nono Mozonono praised her new look. Meanwhile, Mary Kikakuju tried to impress Fudo with new perfume, and Choka Baragasaki praised her scent. But when both arrived at school, they saw many girls gathered around Fudo, because after beating Warabi Hanasaka and her bear, all the girls were now attracted to him. All day the girls followed him, so Mary Kikakuju and Rin Onigawara became angry and tried to keep others away by sitting with him at lunch. Fudo went home and both got more annoyed. Rin Onigawara because Fudo did not notice her new uniform, and Mary Kikakuju because Fudo did not praise her perfume. Then both had dinner with their sisters and, while complaining, decided they needed to do something so Fudo would not become a show for everyone. At the same time, Fudo felt someone was talking about him and someone was following him, but he could not see who. At night, that person entered his room. The next morning, Fudo met Mary Kikakuju and Rin Onigawara, who were his supervisors. Then both attacked him and Fudo ran away while they chased him. Fudo met Warabi Hanasaka and her bear, and the bear was ready to catch him, but because the 2 girls were chasing him, Warabi Hanasaka helped him hide. When the 2 girls turned the corner, Fudo was not there, and after they left, he appeared again. When Fudo thanked the bear, Warabi Hanasaka said the bear was now attracted to him like the other girls. Fudo told her about his problem, so Warabi Hanasaka laughed and said Satori Tamaba wanted to ruin him, and she would start by destroying his relationships with the girls. Warabi Hanasaka asked if he had a plan, so Fudo realized something and decided to go to the girls' dorm to get the real record as proof. When Warabi Hanasaka asked how he would get inside, Fudo said he would let the girls catch him on purpose. Later, when he was caught, Mary Kikakuju and Rin Onigawara punished him hard, and Nono Mozonono and Choka Baragasaki held him down. Rin Onigawara's attack was so strong that Fudo's shirt ripped, and a big scar on his back was visible. The girls gave him a short break and left. so Warabi Hanasaka came and freed him and gave him bread for energy. She praised Fudo's courage, and Fudo said he had his own reason. He told her to leave him alone for his mission, but Warabi Hanasaka, with the bear Kyubu, decided to go with him and said Satori Tamaba was not there at the moment. They went to Satori Tamaba's room. Fudo did something strange with her things, but found nothing. Warabi Hanasaka said Satori Tamaba was in the bath, and before going there, warned Fudo that Satori Tamaba was very strange and dangerous. In the hallway, Fudo stepped on a trap and almost got hurt, and someone heard a sound from far away. Two girls came to check, but only saw Warabi Hanasaka and her bear. Fudo hid behind the bear, then accidentally pressed on the bear's body, which made the bear restless and fall down. When one girl was about to see Fudo, Warabi Hanasaka quickly hit him. The two girls became suspicious, but at that moment a small bear distracted them, and when they looked again, Warabi Hanasaka and Kyubu were gone. Later, Fudo asked about the small bear, and Warabi Hanasaka said Kyubu had a baby recently. Fudo praised Kobu, and at that moment, he stepped on another trap. This time Fudo was ready and stopped the trap with his spirit bullet, and the bear licked his face. Then they reached the bath and saw Satori Tamaba's blue eyes, but Warabi Hanasaka looked up and saw that Satori Tamaba's sword was missing. At that moment, Satori Tamaba's right-hand partner, Uemiji, fired her weapon, and Warabi Hanasaka saved Fudo and said they had to be careful. Then Satori Tamaba herself came out from behind, holding her sword and looking ready to fight. Fudo saw a pouch on Satori Tamaba's neck and realized who had entered her room and how Kuso Masukodera was used against him. They told him that Kuso Masukodera did this by his own choice, and Fudo suddenly remembered the previous incident. On that night, with Kuso Masukodera's help, Satori Tamaba and Uemiji secretly entered Fudo's room and used medicine to keep him unconscious so they could do their work. At the same time, Mary Kikakujo kept complaining about Fudo while drinking. When Chokayu Baragasaki said something, Mary Kikakujo remembered the moments when Fudo stopped himself from doing some things, and she disagreed with Chokayu Baragasaki. On the other side, Rin Onigawara was also talking to Nono Mojanono about Fudo in her room, but when Nono Mojanono reminded her of something from the past, Rin Onigawara got annoyed and went to sleep. While changing clothes, she remembered her old anger and refused to accept her feelings. Back in the present, Satori Tamaba started provoking Fudo to face her alone in the bath. Fudo realized she was carrying extra weapons. Fudo tried to control himself, but Warabi Hanasaka pushed him in front of Satori Tamaba and went to Uemiji. After Uemiji's first attack, Warabi Hanasaka started getting weak because of poison, but she hurt herself to stay awake and kept fighting. Satori Tamaba attacked Fudo with her sword. Fudo defended himself in time and blocked the attack, which impressed Satori Tamaba, and then she attacked even faster. At the same time, Fudo saw the photo data thing on her neck and tried to take it, but Satori Tamaba stopped him and attacked even harder. Fudo understood that Satori Tamaba had set everything up to make it harder for him. Fudo tried to figure out her sword style by watching her, but Satori Tamaba called him wrong and changed her technique right away. She kept changing her style again and again, until Fudo realized she had trained in Kishi, where they teach 10 different school techniques. Satori Tamaba agreed and then made her attacks even faster. Fudo saw that Satori Tamaba was now making some mistakes, and he remembered past experiences and made a plan for himself. He stepped back, and when Satori Tamaba thought he was giving up, Fudo took off his shirt and showed her that she was not the only one under pressure in this fight. Meanwhile, Warabi Hanasaka was getting weak from the poison against Uemiji, and at one point, she lost and dropped her sword. Still, without a sword, she used judo moves to throw Uemiji down. Warabi Hanasaka, curious, took off Uemiji's mask and was shocked to see her face. Back with Fudo, his move distracted Satori Tamaba. Her attacks became scattered and her power dropped. Fudo grabbed her sword and threw her down. Fudo was about to win when Satori Tamaba threatened to drop the photo data in the water. Fudo did not care and slapped her, making both Satori Tamaba and the photo data fall in the water. When Satori Tamaba asked why, Fudo shouted that he did it because she made Rin Onigawara cry. Satori Tamaba found it interesting that people get so angry when their close person is hurt. Then Fudo pointed out her own feelings, and Satori Tamaba made a face. Meanwhile, Tsukuyo Inaba was coming toward them from outside and heard everything with her sharp hearing. At the same time, Fudo had a strange dream. Then he woke up in the dispensary with bandages, where Satori Tamaba and Kubo were with him. Fudo asked about Warabi Hanasaka, and Satori Tamaba said she was in the next room. Then Fudo asked what happened, and Satori Tamaba told him that when she was about to pick him up, someone made a sound outside, so she hit him with her. At that moment, Warabi Hanasaka's 3 musketeers came inside to take Warabi Hanasaka out. One of them tried to take off Uemiji's mask, but Uemiji grabbed her hand, and someone saved the musketeer. It was Tsukuyo Inaba and Kinuta Nagahara. Tsukuyo Inaba ordered everyone to go out and went into the bath herself. Inside, she only saw Satori Tamaba, but understood that Fudo was being hidden, and told Satori Tamaba to stop hiding him. Satori Tamaba kept insisting that no one was inside, but Tsukuyo Inaba did not care and told Fudo to wait for her at the fountain. After Tsukuyo Inaba left, Fudo told Satori Tamaba that she should not have hidden him from Tsukuyo Inaba. Satori Tamaba warned him that even if he had beaten her, he would never beat Tsukuyo Inaba. At that moment, Fudo fell to his knees, and Satori Tamaba told him that after taking so many hits, his body could not take it anymore. Meanwhile, Rin Onigawara dreamed about sheep, but as soon as she saw a Fudo sheep, she woke up annoyed because of the past incident. Still, she wanted to see him, so she quietly went out, but on the way, she met Mary Kikakujo, who had left for the same reason. Both made excuses that they were thirsty and went to the canteen together. There, both wanted to meet Fudo and wanted the other to leave. But at that moment, Nono Mosonono and Chokayu Baragasaki came and sat with them. Then all 4 tried to make each other drink more so the others would leave, but no one was ready to give up. It turned into a contest, and when the sisters could not take it anymore, they started dragging them away. At that moment, Satori Tamaba came and said Fudo was in the dispensary, and when they asked why, Satori Tamaba said Fudo tried to attack her. In the dispensary, Fudo was getting dressed when Satori Tamaba told him she had told both girls the truth, and also said Fudo tried to do something wrong with her in the bath. Fudo panicked, and when Rin Onigawara entered the room, he thought he would be beaten, but Rin Onigawara bowed and apologized because Satori Tamaba had told her the whole story. Then Rin Onigawara raised her head and, seeing Fudo in that state, started to get angry, but stopped herself. After that, Rin Onigawara also apologized for her past behavior and said he could do whatever he wanted, so Fudo told her to close her eyes. Rin Onigawara thought he would kiss her, but Fudo took off her mask and looked at her face, which made Rin Onigawara angry. Fudo asked why she was angry, so Rin Onigawara told the truth that her mother once said something harsh about her face. She said when her father remarried, her mother did not want to see her face because she looked like her father, but still, Rin Onigawara wore the mask for her mother's sake. She also said that when Fudo once called her cute, she liked it and wanted to live with her real face one day. Fudo was surprised that Rin Onigawara still loved her mother, but he said he could not feel that way because he was an orphan. He told Rin Onigawara that from childhood, a man obsessed with swords raised him and trained Fudou Nomura day and night. Then, seeing Rin Onigawara crying, he comforted her. Rin Onigawara and Fudou Nomura agreed to keep their stories secret from others. At that moment, Mary Kikakuju came and apologized for her mistake. She tried to make Fudo happy by showing him food her mother made, but Fudo did not accept it. Then Mary Kikakuju blamed Rin Onigawara, and Rin Onigawara told her she was just imagining things. Later, Fudou Nomura returned to his room where Kuso Masukadera was waiting for his answer. When Fudo did not say anything about his betrayal, Kuso Masukadera insisted he say something. Fudo said maybe Kuso Masukadera did all this for a reason, so he would not go against him. Kusuo Masukadera became happy and said he even cleaned Fudo's bed as thanks. Fudo looked under the pillow and found the permit he almost lost. A few days later, Fudou Nomura dreamed that Empress Kirukuru Amu put him in trouble. That same day, Kirukuru Amu disappeared from her room, and a student became worried after learning this. That morning, 2 students were in the shower when they saw a scary head with long hair. They told Fudou Nomura for help, but Fudo just wanted to go back to sleep. Then Rin Onigawara called him to start the day, and while leaving, Kuso Masukodera reminded him to keep the permit with him. The 2 students were surprised to see that Fudo only had 1 stamp left. But Kuso Masukodera was suspicious because the last stamp was from Tsukuyo Inaba. At that moment, Tsukuyo Inaba reported Kirukuru Amu's disappearance to the headmaster, and the headmaster ordered that there would be no classes today. Fudou Nomura noticed that Mary Kikakujo was not with Rin Onigawara, so Rin Onigawara told him that there were 2 problems today. One was that Mary Kikakujo was helping Chokayu Baragasaki with something, and the other was that Warabi Hanasaka's bear Kubo's baby was missing. On the way, they met Mary Kikakuju, who said Chokayu Baragasaki's wig was missing, and asked them to tell her if they saw it. Fudo and Rin Onigawara then realized that Chokayu Baragasaki wore a wig. In the girls' dorm, Warabi Hanasaka and her team were searching for Kyubu's baby but could not find it. Warabi Hanasaka worried that if Satori Tamaba found the baby, she might treat it like a toy and hurt it. They kept searching around the school, and there Mary Kikakuju met them and heard their conversation. The group was talking about finding the bear's baby, but Mary Kikakuju misunderstood and thought they were talking about the wig, so she was surprised why Warabi Hanasaka would want a wig. At that moment, Fudou Nomura and Rin Onigawara also arrived, and a little later, Warabi Hanasaka met them too. Mary Kikakuju praised Warabi Hanasaka for helping her sister find something, but she was talking about Chokayu Baragasaki, while Warabi Hanasaka was thinking about Kyubu's baby. Then everyone realized they were talking about two different problems, and Fudou Nomura cleared up the misunderstanding. After that, Fudou Nomura investigated, and Chokayu Baragasaki also realized that the head with long hair the shower students talked about was related to her. When those two students were in the shower again, they saw that thing and got scared. At that moment, Fudou Nomura came in and caught the scary head, which was actually Kyubu's baby with something on it that looked like long hair. Fudo took it to the girls' dorm. There, they saw a short girl, but up close, they realized it was Chokayu Baragasaki, and she was not wearing her wig. They showed her the real thing, but when Chokayu Baragasaki saw the state of the wig, she started crying. At that moment, Nono Mozunono told Rin Onigawara that Kirukuru Amu had left. Hearing this, Fudou Nomura felt his old fear return. On the roof, Satori Tamaba was watching everything when Misugi Tamaba, without her mask, came and stopped her. Misugi Tamaba was worried that people would recognize her, but Satori Tamaba scolded her and told her to stay quiet. Then Kirukuru Amu came to the roof and accused Satori Tamaba of also doing wrong with Misugi Tamaba and using Fudou Nomura and the others with her tricks. Kirukuru Amu showed the photo that Satori Tamaba used to trap Fudo, then tore it up and said that behind all of Satori Tamaba's tricks, she was actually weak. From below, Warabi Hanasaka and her group saw Kirukuru Amu on the roof. The others wanted to help, but Warabi Hanasaka, riding Kyubu, said she would handle it herself and told the rest to stay back. On the roof, Satori Tamaba talked about leaving, and Kirukuru Amu let her go, but Satori Tamaba got too confident and attacked. Then she realized she was already hurt. Kirukuru Amu mocked her for her mistake and got close to finishing her, but at that moment, Misugi Tamaba used a needle to stop Kirukuru Amu and save her sister. Satori Tamaba tried to attack secretly, but in a blink, both Misugi Tamaba and Satori Tamaba fell to the ground and lost. When Kirukuru Amu tried to finish Satori Tamaba, Misugi Tamaba took the hit herself. Satori Tamaba saw her injured sister and remembered how much she respected her as a child. Then she pulled herself together and got up, and when her sister tried to push her down, she threw her sister down instead. After this, the game of identity and relationship between the two changed, and Misugi Tamaba became Satori and Satori Tamaba became Misugi. Even in her last moments, Misugi Tamaba told Satori Tamaba that she loved her, and Satori Tamaba started crying. At that moment, Kirukuru Amu stabbed Satori Tamaba in the back. Then Warabi Hanasaka arrived, but when she saw both sisters covered in blood, she thought she was too late. Warabi Hanasaka and Kyubu attacked Kirukuru Amu, but Kirukuru Amu countered their attacks and both got injured. Meanwhile, Fudou Nomura and Kuso Masukodera were wandering when Fudo sensed danger in the air. Then they saw Tsukuyo Inaba alone. Kuso Masukodera told Fudo she was very dangerous, but Fudo went to her for his last stamp. Tsukuyo Inaba drew her sword in a second and scared him, then put the sword back. Fudo panicked and tripped over a rock. Tsukuyo Inaba told him that if she had not stopped her hand, he could have been badly hurt, and she said she was given the job to supervise Fudo. She told Fudo she had 2 chances, but he had crossed the line 3 times. The first time was when he went to the girls' dorm with Rin Onigawara. The second was when he went to the girls' bath, and the third was when he made Tsukuyo Inaba wait alone and she got sick. Fudo asked why she was given his supervision, and she said she was stronger than him and proved it by cutting a butterfly. Fudo scolded her, but she said she could not tell the difference between a butterfly and a moth. Here, Fudo realized she was blind, but her hearing was very sharp. Fudou Nomura understood from Tsukuyo Inaba's sword skills, and Tsukuyo Inaba said they were from the same training line, but Fudou Nomura did not have a good teacher to make him a great swordsman. On the roof, Kyuubo went forward against Kirukuru Amo, but Kirukuru Amo beat Kyuubo in one move with a few fast actions. At that moment, the three musketeers came to help Warabi Hanasaka. Warabi Hanasaka told them to stay back, but they refused. Kirukuru Amu easily controlled them and threw them down badly. While all this was happening, Fudou Nomura heard the noise from below, and Tsukuyo Inaba told them that on the roof, Kirukuru Amu was easily beating the three musketeers. Tsukuyo Inaba still wanted to talk to Fudou Nomura, but with her sharp hearing, she realized Fudou Nomura was not there anymore and had already run to the roof, which made her angry that he ignored her. On the roof, Warabi Hanasaka asked for mercy for her musketeers, but Kirukuru Amu injured her and blood started coming from Warabi's eyes. Her scream was heard in the school, so the rest of the 5 swords ran to the roof. Fudou Nomura arrived first and saw people lying everywhere, which reminded him of his old fear. He went to Warabi Hanasaka and called for help, and the headmaster was behind him. At that moment, Kirukuru Amu appeared in front of Tsukuyo Inaba, and they challenged each other. Then the others arrived and asked Kirukuru Amu about the screams. Kirukuru Amu told them to come closer so they could see for themselves why there were screams. Fudou Nomura worried about Warabi Hanasaka's injured eyes, but the headmaster said Warabi was hurt, but her eyesight would be fine. She just needed treatment and surgery. Then she told Fudou Nomura that now he had to handle Kirukuru Amu. Fudo looked down and panicked because Rin Onigawara, Mary Kikakuju, and the other girls were already standing to face Kirukuru Amu. Rin Onigawara and Mary Kikakuju attacked Kirukuru Amu, but Kirukuru Amu used her leg technique and knocked them down. They realized her legs worked like weapons. Kirukuru Amu said she had trained hard in karate, so her whole body had become a weapon, and that was why people called her the swordsman without a sword. Then, Kirukuru Amu moved toward their sisters. Rin Onigawara and Mary Kikakujo told their sisters to step back, but they refused because of loyalty. Tsukuyo Inaba stepped forward and stopped Kirukuru Amu, and before attacking, she asked Nono Mozonono if they were friends. Nono Motonono was surprised by the sudden question, then thought and said yes, they were friends. Hearing this, Tsukuyo Inaba told Kirukuru Amu she would protect her friends. Kirukuru Amu wanted to use her sharp hand technique against Tsukuyo Inaba, but Tsukuyo Inaba saw in one look that Kirukuru Amu's fighting was mostly based on counters. She also said this time it would not be easy because Tsukuyo Inaba's sword was sharper than her hands. Then, in a few moments, Tsukuyo Inaba attacked Kirukuru Amu again and again, which made Kirukuru Amu injured and surprised everyone watching. But at that moment, Kirukuru Amu's counter also injured Tsukuyo Inaba and broke her sword. Kirukuru Amu took a piece of the broken sword in her hand, mocked Tsukuyo Inaba, and thought now she had the chance to finish her. Tsukuyo Inaba got ready to fight again with the broken sword, but before that, Fudou Nomura pulled her back and stepped forward himself. Tsukuyo Inaba angrily called Fudou Nomura's name. Then Fudou Nomura remembered the past. Some years ago, he saved a friend from bullies, and during that, he saw Kirukuru Amu, who was the leader of that group. They met again later. Fudou Nomura teased her and said he could even kiss her, and at one point, he suddenly tried to do it, but Kirukuru Amu hit him with her elbow and pushed him away. After that, they had a strange understanding, and Kirukuru Amu called him her friend. Some days later, the same friend, Fudou Nomura, had saved offered to show him the school. At the same time, Kirukuru Amu also asked Fudou Nomura the same thing, but since the offer had already come, Fudou Nomura went with his friend. Kirukuru Amu could not accept this, so she attacked that friend and hurt him, telling Fudou Nomura that such people should not be close to him. Seeing his friend hurt, Fudou Nomura fought her. Back in the present, Kirukuru Amu countered Fudou Nomura's attack and used her sharp hands to hit his stomach and badly injure him. Everyone thought Fudou Nomura had lost, but he had learned from the last fight and had hidden a book under his shirt. At that moment, Tsukuyo Inaba came in and asked if he saved her because he wanted to be her friend. Fudo said he only did it because she was in his way and there was no special way to be friends, just like he slowly got close to the girls even after hating them at first. Kirukuru Amu reminded him that she was once his friend too, but Fudo said after what she did, he could not accept her. Fudo was scared inside because he thought his attacks were useless against Kirukuru Amu's counters. Rin Onigawara wanted to say something. She remembered that Fudo had encouraged her before, and when Rin Onigawara and Mary Kikakuju saw the wound Tsukuyo Inaba made, they realized Kirukuru Amu was not unbeatable, so they pushed Fudo to win. After getting support, Fudou Nomura took a fighting stance, but Kirukuru Amu got bored and told him to stop talking about swords and just fight. Fudo attacked first, but Kirukuru Amu easily took control and pushed him back. When Fudo was about to fall, Tsukuyo Inaba ordered him to dodge toward her, and he was saved. Tsukuyo Inaba scolded him for being too confident and not using the book for defense, which left him open. Then she quickly whispered in his ear how to beat Kirukuru Amu. Fudo hesitated at first, then agreed to follow Tsukuyo Inaba's plan. He promised the girls he would beat Kirukuru Amu, and remembered the hard training from his orphan days to get ready. He took off his top clothes to be lighter for the fight and decided to win for the academy. Meanwhile, inside Kirukuru Amu, her frustration grew because she could not stand that Fudo was standing with others instead of her, and she decided she would beat him with full power and end it. The day Fudou Nomura got the stamp from Mary Kikakujo, Kirukuru Amu saw everything and got very angry that the person she wanted was with someone else. At that moment, she decided if he would not be hers, she would destroy him. Fudou Nomura also got ready for the fight, and remembered Tsukuyo Inaba's advice that, since his attacks were not working, he should use a way to distract Kirukuru Amui and make it harder for her to fight. He rushed at her. The first few attacks missed, but Kirukuru Amu got distracted and could not answer with full strength. Fudou Nomura used the chance and hit her chest with a spear bullet, which did a lot of damage. This made Kirukuru Amu remember the last fight where she was about to finish him, but stopped for some reason. Both got ready again and then started punching each other like a normal fistfight. Fudou Nomura knocked her down, but Kirukuru Amu quickly got up and hit a hard uppercut, which almost knocked Fudou Nomura out. At that moment, Rin Onigawara called his name, and even while falling, Fudou Nomura fired a spirit bullet, but Kirukuru Amudo countered right away. Kirukuru Amu held him and said she wanted this fight to be at full power. She put his hand on her heart and said her heartbeats were for him, and the result of this fight was already decided. Fudou Nomura told her to stop, but she told him not to become weak and pushed him to finish the fight. Then Fudou Nomura hit a spirit bullet toward her heart and knocked her down. After the dust settled, Fudou Nomura had beaten Kirukuru Amu. At that moment, Tsukuyo Inaba came from behind and said now, Fudou Nomura had to fight her too. She said watching his fight made her feel hate because both had the same teacher. Then Tsukuyo Inaba said, from now on, she would be Fudou Nomura's teacher. Fudou Nomura wanted to refuse, but she showed her stamp, which was the last stamp he needed, and everyone knew how hard it was to get Tsukuyo Inaba's stamp. Fudou Nomura was about to answer when Satori Tamaba's people came to attack Kirukuru Amu, but Headmaster Yukino Fujibayashi stopped them. The headmaster ordered everyone except Fudou Nomura to leave and told Fudou Nomura that after what he did, he had been expelled. Later, Kuso Masakodera, even with stitches, tried to convince Fudou Nomura to do something to change the decision, but Fudou Nomura refused and said he had accepted his fate. Some days later, he first visited Warabi Hanasaka in the hospital to say goodbye. Warabi Hanasaka tried to stop him, but Fudou Nomura left and wished her well. Then he went to Satori Tamaba. Satori Tamaba did not want to see him, but when they talked, she told him he had been expelled and they would never meet again. While leaving, Fudou Nomura met Misugi Tamaba, who had come for her sister. Misugi Tamaba was confused about what to call her sister, and Satori Tamaba told Misugi she could call her whatever she wanted, which showed Satori Tamaba had changed. Meanwhile, Rin Onigawara and Mary Kikakuju tried to convince the headmaster to change the decision and said Fudou Nomura fought Kirukuru Amu for the school, but the headmaster said they could not do anything. Then Fudou Nomura met Tsukuyo Inaba, who still wanted to make him her student. Fudou Nomura said he was expelled forever, so Tsukuyo Inaba told him Kirukuru Amu was in the same situation and was at the airport. Fudou Nomura tried to go, but since he was not officially allowed, Tsukuyo Inaba made a deal that she would give her stamp if he became her student, and Fudou Nomura agreed. Then, when Kirukuru Amu was about to board the plane, Fudou Nomura called out to say goodbye. Fudou Nomura told her to come with him, but Kirukuru Amu refused and said she wanted to start a new chapter in her life. Then she kissed him and said her first kiss would always belong to him. She also said she had feelings for him for a long time, and then she left forever. Later, Fudou Nomura returned to the academy for his things and found Rin Onigawara waiting for him in formal clothes. Rin Onigawara was about to say something when Mary Kikakuju arrived and accused Rin Onigawara of coming to meet Fudou Nomura first. Then both told Fudou Nomura that they had convinced the headmaster, and Yukino Fujibayashi said she was joking. Fudou Nomura would stay a student at the academy. but she also said that from now on, both Rin Onigawara and Mary Kikakujiro would be his supervisors. Back at the academy, Rin Onigawara took out her sword and formally told Fudou Nomura to choose one of two paths, either leave the academy forever or stay and become a student again and become a great swordsman. Fudou Nomura chose to stay at the academy. When he went back to the place he now called home, everyone was there waiting for him, and he thought to himself how much his life had changed after meeting these people.